Today's first webinar in our AI for Hybrid Electronics webinar series. And today's topic is going to be accelerating hybrid electronics R&D with AI automation. So this is the first webinar in a series from NextFlex focused on the opportunities, the status, and developments in AI for hybrid electronics technology and manufacturing. This webinar series really is designed to support knowledge sharing across the ecosystem. And across the entire series, we'll feature topics including things like real-world applications of AI and ML in design, materials and process development, manufacturing and testing of electronics. We'll feature some demos and case studies and practical strategies for adoption and implementation. Just as a reminder to everyone, this webinar series is open to both NextFlex members and non-members. If you're interested in seeing any webinars that you missed, they'll be posted to our website, nextflex.us, for you to review later on, as well as we have posted already the webinar that my colleague Dr. Nick Morris and I conducted about 2 weeks ago, which was really laying the groundwork for this webinar series. So before I introduce our speaker today, I wanted to just give a little bit of background in AI for hybrid electronics and why this is something that we're looking at. So NextFlex has spent the better part of this year really looking into, with our consortium members, some of the key opportunities in hybrid electronics. Things like boosting design and manufacturing efficiency, improving product reliability and yield, enabling smarter devices, leveling the playing field for small manufacturers who can adopt these AI technologies to become more efficient and compete with larger companies, and strengthening the industrial base resilience. There are a lot of details behind all of these, but we're really excited to explore them through this webinar series. As part of that, we've also committed to developing an AI for hybrid electronics roadmap, really pulling together all of the details and sharing that across the community. I won't go through the details. You can read the kind of working framework that we have for this roadmap, but going everywhere from identifying a scope for the roadmap itself, as well as background, all the way out to implementation timelines and an outlook for the field are the objectives that we have for this roadmap. It's ambitious, but it is an objective we're working toward. All right, because this webinar is open to non-members of the NextFlex consortium, I did want to highlight just very quickly what are some of the things that NextFlex does, because if you're interested in AI for hybrid electronics, you should probably be interested in NextFlex too. Our mission is to create a strong US industrial base for hybrid electronics manufacturing. We are a public-private partnership. We're on the private side. We work with our partners in the federal government, as well as our partners across US industry and academic institutions, to build out this field, advancing the technology and the manufacturing, establishing and growing a manufacturing ecosystem in the US for this technology base, and securing human capital, ensuring that we have the workforce that we need for the technology today and in the future. We do this through a wide number of activities, including our technical working groups, our consortium, which has more than 200 industry, academic, and government members and partners. Technical working groups, we operate 11 technical working groups in different subject matter areas, which develop 5-year roadmaps in each of those 11 spaces. They validate market needs and identify and rank technical gaps. We have project calls where we funded nearly $150 million in projects over the last 10 years. Information dissemination, workshops, webinars like this one, and in-person events. We also have our member portal for member organizations to connect into, see project information about past and current ongoing projects, as well as access data and event archives. We have our education and workforce activities, focusing on everything from K-12 STEM education out to incumbent workforce, with activities including technical training, consulting, and other programs that have operated across more than 12 states and with more than 27,000 participants. And then finally, we have the NextFlex Technology Hub in San Jose, California, where we do prototyping and manufacturing services across government and industry, really being an active part of developing and advancing this technology. A few upcoming events I want to highlight. First 2 pages for NextFlex members. We have our Project Call webinar series. A lot of really active presentations over the months of November and December. Certainly, I'm not going to read through all this list, but if you're a NextFlex member organization and you're not already receiving the invitations to project webinar updates, you can contact Eliana Schoenberg to be added to that invitation distribution list. We also have, we're in the middle of our technical working group road mapping activities. We have one more meeting in the first round of meetings of the working groups as part of the 2025 road mapping activity. The standards test and reliability group will meet tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. The second round of roadmap meetings will begin in January, and dates and times are coming for those. If you're a Nextflex member and you want to join a technical working group, just email Nick Morris. Have some trouble with its slide advance. All right, and then finally, two slides of open to all events. We have Nextflex Innovation Days, which will be held June 9th through 11th in Mountain View, California, co-located with the TechBlick Future of Electronics Reshaped Conference. This is going to be a great opportunity to see some Nextflex specific activities as well as the broader activities going on in the field at the TechBlick event. Registration for the Nextflex portion will open in January, and TechBlick has their registration open now. Finally, the last thing I wanted to announce is that the next webinar in this AI for Hybrid Electronics webinar series will be held on December 3rd and presented by Dr. Pradeep Lal from Auburn University. And he'll be talking about AI opportunities in electronics manufacturing and reliability. We have the registration link on the page there, and the QR code points to that same registration page. The next webinar after that in this series will be December 10th. Title, topic, and presenter information coming soon. And we have a number of dates in both January and February lined up as well. So really looking forward to building out this series. All right, it is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Jiaojiao Li, from the co-founder and chief product officer at Object. She'll be talking to us about accelerating hybrid electronics R&D with AI automation. Dr. Li has a PhD in material science and a master's in computer science from the University of Pennsylvania, where you can read her bio here. She is one of the key developers of Object's technology, and we're really looking forward to hearing from her today. Jiaojiao, I will stop sharing and turn the share over to you for you to present. Okay, I think you should be able to share. All right. That's good. Oh, you need to unmute though.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's great.
Okay, that's great. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Scott, for introducing us, and Nextflex for inviting us to open this new AI for Hybrid Electronics webinar series. I'm Jiaojiao Li, co-founder and chief product officer at Object. My background is in material science. I completed my PhD at Mainz and hold a master's in computer science with a focus on software engineering at UPenn. Before Object, I spent over a decade in thin film R&D, working on process optimization and yield improvement. Today, I'm excited to share how agentic AI automation can help accelerate hybrid electronics R&D from defect inspection to experiment optimization. At Nextflex recent AI workshop in Boston, we saw incredible momentum around AI and machine learning across circuit design, materials selection, and process control. On the left, you see how industry leaders see AI transforming the value chain. In the middle, we see promising applications, smarter circuit layout, predictive maintenance, and real-time control. But on the right are the challenges we must address together: data integration, workforce readiness, and IP protection. Flexible electronics R&D is what I call a perfect storm for AI automation. It brings together complex materials, delicate printing process, and multi-physics failures. Let's break that down. First, under materials, we face the challenge of developing high-performance inks, barrier films, and stretchable substrates that can handle both the mechanical and electrical requirements of hybrid electronics. This is not just the chemistry, it's a balancing act between flexibility, conductivity, and durability. Next, the integration challenge. How do we reliably attach rigid silicon components to flexible platforms, like printed circuits or polymer substrates, without losing durability or electrical performance? is one of the biggest bottlenecks in flexible electronics. Then there's manufacturing. Printing resolution, curing condition, and yield variation all make production quality and scalability difficult. Very small change in ink viscosity or curing temperature can impact the yield, so manufacturers struggle to maintain consistency at scale. Testing is another major pain point. We still lack standardized reliability metrics, and testing is slow and manual. There's a need to streamline reliability testing and accelerate qualification and adoption of new designs. Finally, in design, our simulation and design tools are still weak when it comes to modeling hybrid flexible systems. We need better ways to predict performance, optimize parameters, and avoid costly trial and error before fabrication. And this is where AI automation can make a real difference by helping researchers and engineers learn from data, predict outcomes, and optimize process across materials, integration, manufacturing, testing, and design. Before we dive into applications, let's align on where AI technology is today. On the top left, we see the evolution from artificial intelligence to machine learning to deep learning, and now to generative and agentic AI. AI simply means machines that can reason or perceive. ML means they learn patterns from data. DL, or deep learning, extracts those patterns automatically using neural networks. NVIDIA CEO Jason Huang describes 5 stages of AI evolution, starting from 2012 Alex Knight, which proved deep learning could recognize images better than humans. Then came perception AI, enabling machines to interpret their environment, think computer vision systems, or predictive maintenance. Generative AI followed, giving machines creative capability, LLMs being one example. People can use Gen AI to create new content and brainstorm new ideas. Now we're entering the agentic AI era, where systems can autonomously reason, plan, and act. AI agents are like intelligent task executors. The whole agentic AI system with multiple AI agents become higher-level autonomous decision makers. That's where Object focuses today. Let's see where the world stands on agentic AI adoption. According to Deloitte's 2025 survey, when asked to the AI leaders, how extensively is your organization deploying autonomous AI agents? 56% said not at all. But when asked to them, how much will autonomous agents transform your organization in the next 2 to 3 years? Nearly half said significantly. This tells us that adoption is still early, but expectations are high. We're seeing early use cases across finance, logistics, and scientific research. At Object, we are bringing agentic AI into the world of deep tech R&D, especially hybrid electronics. At Object, our mission is to create domain-specific AI agents that automate complex deep tech discovery, prototyping, and manufacturing workflows. Let me start with our vision. We imagine a future where every R&D team and every production line is augmented by AI agents, agents that can reason, learn, and continuously improve. These agents won't just automate tasks. They will transform how deep tech innovation happens, making discovery and engineering faster, smarter, and more adaptive than ever before. Our mission is to create domain-specific AI agents that automate complex deep tech workflow from discovery and prototyping to engineering and manufacturing. In other words, we're giving scientists and engineers intelligent assistants that help them work faster, more accurately, and with deeper insights. And we stay grounded in our values. We uphold scientific rigor. Every result is verifiable and evidence-based. We believe in human AI collaboration. AI should empower scientists, not replace them. We push automation intelligence, smart systems that adapt and optimize on their own. We prioritize transparency and trust. And finally, we aim for impact beyond the lab, bridging discovery to real-world development, to real-world deployment. Together, these principles define our path toward an AI-powered R&D ecosystem, one that accelerates innovation across deep tech. With this foundation, let's explore what agentic AI really means. Here's the evolution. Traditional AI tools are user-driven. They respond to prompts and commands. AI agents are task-driven. They work through a cycle, observe, reason, act, and learn. For example, an AI agent can inspect new images, compare results to design targets, and suggest process adjustments autonomously. At the next level, agentic AI systems are objective-driven. They pursue a defined goal across multiple steps with minimal human input. They are not just reactive, they are proactive collaborators. A metaphor I love is the Avengers. Each superhero is powerful alone. That's like an AI agent specialized for one task: inspection, metrology, or analysis. But the real power emerges when they work together as a team, the agentic AI system. They collaborate, analyze, execute, and optimize in unison, sharing context, learning from outcomes, and improving as a collective. In the same way, our AI agents operate independently yet synergize, enabling automation at the R&D system level. And very importantly, just like each hero has a weapon, each agent has its tool. I will talk more details about those tools next. At Object, we are creating specialized AI tools designed especially for deep tech R&D automation. Let me introduce three of them. First, deep search. It is our AI detection. It is our AI detection engine, capable of spotting anomalies down to nanoscale. Deep search automates defect inspection, defect classification, and real-time monitoring, helping researchers find issues before they become problems. Next, nanovision. This one focuses on AI metrology, measuring objects at the nanoscale with extreme precision. It automates critical dimension metrology and feature segmentation, enabling faster, more consistent measurements without human bias. And finally, Inside Lab. This is our AI prediction platform. It learns from experimental and production data to detect anomalies, predict material and process properties, and even suggest the next best experiments to run. Together, Deep Search, Nanovision, and Inside Lab form the foundation of an intelligent, automated R&D ecosystem, one that continuously learns, improves, and accelerates innovation. Let's go through each briefly with real examples. Deep Search is designed for visual inspection. In this demo, you'll see how it is applied to a printed circuit board. From this video, we can see that deep search can automatically scan thousands of images in just a few minutes. Deep search uses advanced computer vision to analyze high-resolution images and automatically detect defects, things like misprints, cracks, delaminations, or incomplete patterns that often occur during printing, curing, or lamination. For hybrid electronics manufacturers, that means instead of relying solely on manual inspection or sampling, deep search can scan every panel or layer automatically, providing consistent, objective quality control. Beyond detection, it can also classify each defect and link it back to possible process causes, like print pressure or ink viscosity. It enables engineers to find root causes faster and maintain consistent quality. Once defects are detected, the next step is to measure and quantify them, which leads us to nanovision. Nanovision focuses on measurement. In this demo, you'll see how it does autometrology. In this trench measurement use case, AI takes over what used to be a very manual process. Traditionally, engineers had to measure each trench one by one, often across just a few sample images. Now, AI automatically measures all images at once, generating a complete map of trench width variation across the entire wafer or substrate. It can highlight areas that are out of spec and then correlates those deviations with upstream parameters, things like etch time, tool temperature, or deposition thickness. This turns what used to be a slow manual process into a fast, consistent, and scalable metrology solution. For hybrid electronics, this is especially powerful because fine trenches and vias imprinted or etched layers directly affect electrical performance and reliability. By automating these measurements, engineers can quickly tune their process, catch issues earlier, and maintain tight dimensional control, even as designs get smaller and more complex. After measurements, we can move to higher level analysis. That's where Inside Lab comes in. Inside Lab is our analytical and predictive engine. In this example, we used it to predict battery electrolyte performance based on composition data. First, we upload the data. and then we define each column. And then we select a machine learning model to train it. Once it's done, we can use the model to do prediction. This machine learning model forecasts how the electrolyte formula would potentially perform before experiments are run, helping prioritize which samples to test physically. Let's look at how those predictions compare with real lab results. Here we compare the predicted versus measured electrolyte performance. You can see that the predicted trends align closely with actual measurements, within roughly 10 to 15 deviation. This level of accuracy allows teams to cut down experimental cycles significantly, moving faster toward optimized formulations. Beyond the prediction, Inside Lab can also recommend what experiments to run next. Let's see that. First, we upload data and also define the columns. And we train a DOE model. Once it is done, we can use it to do recommendation. Here is where things become truly intelligent. Inside Lab doesn't just predict outcomes, it can recommend optimal experiment size to achieve a target property. This is a new way of doing design of experiments. In this video, it recommends electrolyte formulations likely to hit a Coulombic efficiency target. It's like having a digital R&D scientist that guides your next iteration based on both theory and data. Now let's look at how we have been applying these tools in real flexible hybrid electronics R&D. This example comes from the NextFlex PC 10.2 project, enhancing FHE design and manufacturing with AI ML tools in collaboration with GE Healthcare and Binghamton University. The goal is to build foundational AI ML capabilities that the NextFlex community can use across R&D and manufacturing. The first component focuses on design optimization. Our AI tools Inside Lab and Nanovision define design rules for circuit layouts using high-resolution training data. Each printed layer is optimized to ensure high yield and consistency. In the second component, those optimized parameters are implemented in manufacturing. Each layer undergoes real-time quality testing. If a defect is found, the loop goes back to design for correction. If not, production continues. This closed-loop, data-driven process is a real example of hybrid AI and human collaboration in action. Beyond these tools, we are now building the next generation of agentic AI system. On the left, we're developing the deep tech research agent, essentially the brain of the system, powered by a domain-specific LLM trained on papers, patents, and lab fab data. It can summarize literature, plan experiments, predict performance, and generate SOPs. On the right, the industrial computer use agent is the hand, capable of operating R&D and manufacturing software autonomously. It can perform metrology, run simulations, or even operate and maintain production tools like a digital operator. Together, these agents form the backbone of an autonomous R&D workflow. Now, let's talk about the impact. Our AI agents create value across 4 key dimensions. First, speed. We are helping teams move faster by bringing AI into R&D and production. So innovation cycles get shorter and more predictable. Next, yield. With AI feedback loops, every run makes the next one better. That means higher reliability and better overall performance. Then there's talent. Our AI agent act like digital teammates, taking taking on repetitive work and freeing scientists and engineers to focus on the big problems. And finally, standard. By creating shared AI data structures, we make it easier for companies to collaborate and exchange information across the value chain. Together, those changes could move us toward a smarter, more resilient hybrid electronic ecosystem. In closing, I want to thank NextFlex and all of you for being part of this growing conversation on AI in hybrid electronics. At Object, we believe this is a transformation from data to discovery, potentially leading to an exemplary AI-powered R&D ecosystem. We welcome future discussions and collaborations, whether on data sharing, pilot projects, or standards development. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the presentation. I love seeing some of the direction that you're headed with this. We did get one question that came in through the questions pane that I think it probably reflects something that a number of people are wondering. And that is, what has the industry reception been to the products that you were talking about today, the ones that you've been developing already? And I think, knowing what I know, maybe I'll ask, do you want to comment something on the stage of your company at this point, as kind of to link it to that question about industry reception?
Yeah. So currently we are working with, like what I showed, like we're working with GE Healthcare and Binghamton on this NextFlex project, and using those tools I just introduced, and we are also like looking for other opportunities with other industrial companies to apply our technology to more areas and fields.
Excellent. How would you compare what you're doing to kind of conventional automated optical inspection, AOI technologies?
Compared to them, I think we are more like we are more like I said, like domain specific and AI focused. So we are not only focusing using those like traditional ML or computer vision tools. We are now implementing AI like larger model and agentic AI system to automatically operate those tools, and also instead of only using tools, we are also developing domain specific larger models like the AI scientists to help the scientists and researchers to think of new ideas and do brainstorms and answer questions those scientists and engineers have. So compared to traditional machine learning tools, we are now more toward agentic AI and larger model areas. Yes.
Okay. So I'll just remind the audience that if you have questions, we have a few different ways that you can ask them. You can enter them directly into the questions pane, and I can read them off for you. I believe you should also be able to raise a hand for and let us know that you have a question. We can unmute and you can ask your own question. So we have one that just came into the questions pane. For a manufacturing company wanting to explore AI integration, what do you feel is an appropriate first step? That's I think a question that a lot of people wonder.
First step.
Yeah.
I think first step is I think it depends on your needs. Like which step do you think is like very can be replaced by AI? Like those repetitive work, like the defect detection and metrology. Those works are very like human intensive, but can be replaced very easily or very well by AI and machine learning. So I think I think they can start from there.
Okay. Nick Morris, your hand. I think your hand was up first.
Yeah, thanks, Jiaojiao. Really great webinar. Appreciate it. I liked, I think on one of your early slides, you had a mention about common roadblocks being IP protection. And this is something that we've heard over and over again from engagement with members, and our workshopping is concerned about IP rights, data security. Can you comment on how Object ensures data confidentiality and security when training and deploying your models?
For that, yeah, I think this is a very critical problem we are facing. In Object, we just so most of the data we gathered are from like public sources, and for the data that are shared with us from like private parties, we will make sure that we protect them very securely, both at our local storage or in the cloud. I think maybe Kaiyang, do you want to comment more on this question?
Yeah, this is a very serious issue in Object. You know, we think like through all the collaboration with other collaborators, this is the first thing that we consider. And then yearly we have different agreements signed before we start sharing the data, and then we have our security protocols all set up for you know, before we can talk about the data sharing. And you know, and also regarding the IP. We do have some collaborations with some other tool vendors doing their automation. There are some sharing protocols that we are talking about. You know, developing some methods that we can agree that some IP we can share and some we cannot. Basically, this is the highest priority that we're having with all the collaborators. If there's a partnership that we're building up, we should be able to sign a few different agreements before we can start anything. And overall, I think there's also general concern that the cloud server might be not so secure. I mean, based on what I talked to some community members, they prefer on-premise deployment. But that really depends on how you want the solution to be implemented in each production line or system or labs or team. Usually, we think independent server from cloud can be really helping with your data irritation and trainings. But there are many people thinking that on-prem might be one major solution for them. And we're also having this kind of a package that we're providing independent servers, make sure that our AI solutions or AI software is being installed with high security before deployed to any parties. That's what I can comment at this moment.
Yeah, I have more to comment on this. We have, our team has a strong background in privacy and security. So how to answer this question can be from like two directions. First one is model training. During our model training process, how we protect the privacy for the training data. We actually rigorously do the PI identification, remove all the sensitive users data in the model training process. We might also, we could also do the differential privacy, things like that, to do statistical privacy as well. And in our model training process, we are using the very secure cloud solution to do the training and the testing. So for the model training part, we try our best to protect users' privacy. And in the model inference part, we have the guardrail for input and output. So basically means we filter the content that it goes to our model and comes out from our model to make sure the data is secure and private.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So one of the, I'll throw in another question of my own, and then we have another one, another hand raised. With the deep search and the and one of the other tools that you spoke about, it really looks like you're analyzing individual data sets, and then Nanovision, I think, was the other one that I'm thinking of. And then I'm curious, and one of the big challenges that people face in general is data fusion, taking data from many different sources, different kinds of data. In some cases, it may even be similar data that's collected separately, either in time or in space, or different types of tools. And combining all that data together to really begin to extract actionable intelligence. Is there a training set that you have that you've been able to use, or some successes that you might have seen in doing that kind of multimodal data fusion in order to identify directions or failures or defects or kind of anything is where I'm going with that.
Yeah, this is a really good question. Yeah, as you can see, our deep search and nanovision, we are like analyzing a set of data which helps to do like defect detection or metrology. But yes, it doesn't accept like multiple data formats or different types of data sets altogether to like analyze them and extract some useful information. But that's not that's our next step, or that's what we are developing now. So we are now we are developing the deep tech research agent and the industrial computer use agent. The deep tech research agent is a brain, like what I introduced. So it can accept multiple data sets, like different formats, different kinds of like defect types and analyze them and extract useful informations and give like feedbacks and maybe give some like new ideas. That's what it can do. And our industrial computer use agent is like hands. It can operate the tools, not only our own tools, but also other tools to collect different types of data, images, or informations from different tools, from different equipments, and those data will be fed to our like R&D scientist agent to generate useful informations and provide like intelligence to scientists and researchers. So so our deep search and nanovision are tools which can be used to generate to do like defect detection and metrology and other image features automatically, but those information can be organized and feed to our R&D scientist, our AI agent scientist, which will gather all the informations all together and extract useful informations.
Excellent. So I'll take another question here from the questions thread. Have you had success using generative AI methods in hybrid electronics? And if so, could you provide some examples?
That's I think I can give a brief answer and someone can comment more. We are developing, so like I introduced, we are developing domain-specific LLMs. So the one we are working on is one of the domain-specific LLMs we're working on is hybrid electronics. So we are now gathering all the data both from NextFlex and open source for the hybrid electronics and training a domain-specific larger model as a R&D research scientist. So this is under development. So maybe Chang, do you comment more on the status on this domain-specific larger model?
Yes, thanks, Jiaojiao. Our Gen AI development consists of two key works. The first one is what Jiaojiao just mentioned. We are training our own domain-specific large language model. We have already trained one model for the battery domain. We're currently expanding it more to other domains. We have the entire data processing pipeline, training pipeline, evaluation pipeline, and the evaluation benchmark in our previous battery LM development process. So this is one thread. The second thread is a RAG. RAG system is like how we can better retrieve information using with the help of the large language model. We have been developing a very strong and stable RAG system for some other domain, but it can be easily expanded to this NextFlex applications. In that project, we not only follow the traditional RAG steps like how to retrieve data, how to re-rank data, how to generate the data for the answer. We also have done a lot of novelty innovation part. For example, the embedding model, we have the fine-tune process to fine-tune the embedding model for this domain specific. So in summary, for both of these works, we not only just use Gen AI, we actually have many important novelty part, especially on the model training, model fine-tuning part.
Yeah, so this is still under development, but we will keep everyone updated. Please keep an eye on our LinkedIn and our website. Once it's done, we will post our demo there.
Excellent. So we have two technical questions here that I'm going to combine together into one for you. They're different, but I think they get to similar kind of questions about the capability. So the first asks about in the one of the examples you showed, you used a ridge regression model for validation. And the question related to that is, are there other AI models that you've had success with? And then the other one is about approaches that you've used for federating data that have been successful. So different kinds of questions, but both of them really go down a kind of a technical implementation route. So I thought I'd just ask them together for you.
All right. So the data I'm showing here is we extracted the data from a paper that published in PNAS. It's like a paper from our collaborators in Stanford. So yeah, this set of data we're using. So this set of data is for the electrolyte prediction, formula prediction. We the model we're using here is where is the model? Yeah, it's the linear regression model. We also have other models, AI models that you can choose, like XGBoost, rigid regression, and even Auto. Auto will pick the best model, will run all the models and pick the best one. And we instead of numeric prediction, we can also do other ML types like classification and anomaly detection.
Excellent. And then
yeah,
the other part of that was about data federation.
Data federation?
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
Actually,
are you talking about like distributed data that they cannot communicate with each other, but we want to utilize all of them, things like that?
I believe that's what was meant by the question.
Yeah. I think
you can get clarification from the questioner if that's not right.
Yes, that's an important question, especially following our security and privacy discussion happening before. We do have this scenario where maybe the data comes from different customers, and we want to build a model from different sources. They cannot communicate with each other, and it's not easy to move the data to a center. So how to do the model training or evaluation in a federated way, in a distributed way? It's an interesting problem. We do have previous experience. We can use federated learning and other distributed learning way to effectively utilize data from different resources without like letting them know each other, without like moving them into the same place. Yeah, I think that's the answer if that's the intention of this question. Yeah.
All right, excellent. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the hour. Jiaojiao, do you or any of your colleagues have any last thoughts you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think we are like working on this, like we are working on a lot of AI tools and like agentic AI system and larger models, and some of our projects are still under development. If anyone has a question, please send us emails or any comments or like LinkedIn or our website. We'll post our progress on our LinkedIn and websites. Please keep an eye on that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being our inaugural speakers in this webinar series. Thank you all for attending. Please sign up for the next webinar in the series if you're interested. That'll be December 3rd, like I said before. Link is available. That will be presented by Professor Pradeep Lal from Auburn University on AI opportunities in electronics manufacturing reliability. We look forward to seeing you all there. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.